Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Financially Forever After. We are your hosts, Lindsey and
Brett the Moneymaker Schunkweiler.
Here to give you some love, relationship, and also some financial advice for your future.
Yeah, pretty
Planning
much.
for the future, which, speaking of planning for the future, lots of vacations are going to be happening here soon. Lots of planning for summer vacation.
Yep.
And it made me think about, I read it like a little article online just recently about a couple's survival guide.
That's what I need.
And one of those mentioned surviving road trips and family vacations. And I just thought about like our most recent road trip. We went out to Colorado in November. It's about like a 7.5 hour drive, but we don't do a lot of road trips. And we were going to be there like 5 days over Thanksgiving break. So we had a lot of groceries and things we had to bring. But I was looking through my camera roll and I had a picture of the kids sitting. We have an SUV, but they were surrounded by coolers and bags. And like literally it was like the Tetris game where you're like the shapes are coming down. And it's like, which way do you form it in there? And it was really funny. So if people are going on road trips, that's part of the battle, getting everything packed up into the car.
You got to get the cooler in the middle so you can open it up and eat
true,
along the
yeah.
way. I remember
Because they get hungry.
I remember one time, I think it was a bowling trip I went on with my dad and brother and friends, and we played cards. We played poker. We actually played poker.
In the middle of the car?
Yeah, because the cooler would go on the middle consoles.
So were you in seatbelts?
Yeah, we were in
Oh, I
seatbelts,
thought you meant like everyone was like
no,
huddled around this
no,
like
no,
a table.
No. Yeah, the table was the cooler.
Do you remember the large conversion vans like that had the tables? It actually came out.
Yeah.
My parents had one of those. It was
I
purple.
remember.
It had the old school like black and white TV, but it had like the curtains you could pull down.
Yeah, it did. It did.
So my dad was notorious for long road trips. We would always go to Colorado every year, but he hated to stop. It was like his personal record of like, this year I'm going to beat it in this time. So he did not ever want to stop. Well, we're young. We have to go to the bathroom. I kid you not. He got a metal Folgers coffee can. And if you had to pee, you had to squat on this can. And that's where you did your biz. Obviously, number one only. Number two was a no-go. Can you believe that? I look back on that. I was like, that was not okay. He was like, nope, no stopping. Got to beat my time from last year.
I remember, driving from baseball trips or whatnot with parents would be driving. You're in the back of like the station wagon. You're like waving or you're
yeah.
Like,
and those didn't have seatbelts back
yeah,
there.
Yeah. And I remember with one buddy that we were like throwing fries at like the cars going by, trying to hit a car going the other, throwing fries.
Oh my gosh. I remember one time, because I had a lot of cousins growing up, like 14 or 15, but my aunts and uncles all piled into my parents' conversion van. So all the adults were in seats. All the children, I don't think there was 14 of us at the time. I think there was maybe 9, all on the floor of the conversion van.
That's really
not
safe.
In a seat. We drove from Lincoln to Kansas City, which is about a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
And no seatbelts. We went to like Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun. It was just like that thing. And did we get pulled over? No, because it was the 90s and
Yeah, well, I mean,
it was like the wild, wild west of the generation.
it was kind of great. We kind of loved it too.
We do not
Wasn't the
condone
smartest.
any of this, by the way.
Yeah,
this
don't
is
do
just
that.
growing up in the 90s. This is.
Everyone that's adult and can
Did
drive,
you
don't do that.
get beds when you stayed in hotels? We didn't get to very often, but the adults always got the beds and the kids had the sleeping bags on the floor.
Well, there's 5 of us, so there's
No, we would never.
usually
We
one
would
person.
do 3 families in a room of 5.
no
3 families. Or no, usually 2 families, because it was usually 2 adults in the bed. So 2 beds, 2 adults, each bed, and then all the kids got the floor.
That is really cheap.
We grew up in a very frugal household. And now my parents are in Alaska on this nice, beautiful cruise for like 2 weeks. I'm like, listen.
Because they saved up all
That's
the money.
how they saved.
They
Yeah,
saved up all
they
the
were
money
planning
for having 3
for
families in a
long
room.
term. So yeah, they get to
Smart.
plan for the future, I suppose. But let's get into our topic today for our relationship
Okay,
stuff.
what do we got?
So I thought this was a good topic today because we've covered love languages before. We've talked about that in a previous episode. So if you have not heard heard that episode, go back and make sure you listen to it, because the love languages in a relationship are important. They're very, depending on the person, they could really make your day if you can tap into that love language and find out what makes your partner tick. It's a good way to develop your relationship and keep it fresh, keep it exciting. But this one is weird love languages, unofficial love languages. So these aren't part of the love languages.
Oh gosh.
So I have some examples for you so you can get an idea of like what this is. So my weird love language to you is sending memes. I send you memes on the daily, or little reels that I just think are hilarious. And you, my husband, don't always respond to these reels. And I'm just laughing, or I'll watch your facial expressions as you're watching them or reading them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going to think this is so good. And then you just don't give me what I want.
It depends. Well, I mean, here's the thing is, I work a lot of hours. You know, I work.
Yeah.
So like if you send it to me in the middle of my day,
yes,
and it's like 1:00, you got to expect that I'm not going to see it till probably 5.
And I'm the one constantly finding stuff for like this podcast, or like, you know,
Hold
I'm online a lot.
I got the prep for this.
Oh, well, yes, you do prep, but I'm talking about the socials for the stuff we would do. Like,
absolutely.
it's all coming from me. So I am on socials way more than you are.
Correct.
So that stuff will just pop up and I just laugh and think it's hilarious. So I'm constantly sending it to you. And then an unofficial thing, but I think this kind of went into active service because we've talked about this before, but something you do for me, which is unofficial, is making coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
I love that. That's an unofficial love language, but it's so easy to make coffee, and we do have a timer. Like, we could just do it at night and have it ready, but to wake up and smell the coffee and know that you made it for me, I love it. It's so great.
Because I don't drink coffee.
You don't drink coffee. No.
So yes.
You hate my coffee breath too. You've mentioned it many times.
Yeah.
Some people like the taste of coffee and the smell of coffee, but not my husband. What would you say are some weird love languages, unofficial things that would make this list? That
when you bring me meals and food and having hot food.
Yeah.
When you're going to like, oh, I got to take a child somewhere because we have 3 kids that are always going various places. And if I come home after working probably 10 plus hours and I don't have to like, oh, well, she didn't make anything, I got to go find something, like that's frustrating.
You don't want to go searching.
But if you have something, I'm like, oh, that was nice. Awesome. Even though you might not be there, I did a crock pot meal. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Having
as
it
long
hot
as
and
it's
ready.
something ready for me, or, oh, it's ready. All you got to do is get a plate, heat it back up in the microwave because I made this, fine. Or grab it out of the crock pot, fine. But it's if I have to, after all the hours I work, come home and do that, I'm like, ugh. But when I see it, I'm like, thank you. Love you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. That's good. What are there any that you can think of that are like quirky that we do?
Quirky.
Like something that's like the memes thing or the real thing. Is there anything?
I mean, I like sending the gifs or GIF. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you're notorious on text messages for sending those.
Oh, I like those.
You won't even reply in words. It'll just be all GIFs.
Because it's awesome and I love it. Yeah, multiple
You're
conversations
pretty good
is that.
You're pretty good at that. And then you're the same. You watch our expressions to see, did they think that was funny?
Yeah, I had one person wanted to do like a GIF off, back and forth or whatnot. And I'm like, Captain America, I could do this all day.
Yeah. Why don't you share the story of how you got yourself into trouble with some GIFs, though?
No.
Yes.
Why would we do that? Why would we?
Because this is unfiltered. Go ahead.
I don't think that's necessary at this present
Oh, it's
moment.
very necessary.
Okay.
You don't have to say who it was. It's just a person that you would send it, someone who was not intended to receive it.
Correct.
You were trying to send it to me.
No.
Oh.
I wasn't trying to send it to you. So it was like early on and like doing these GIFs or whatnot. GIFs, whatever they're called. It sends out a funny little video meme thing. So there was one I was scrolling and it was like a cat, like 2 kittens, like one was spanking the other kitten. And like I'm texting it to a client. I like to do like happy birthday one. So like I seen it and like I hit it. I'm like, I don't want this there. And I hit it to move it and it sent it. And I'm like, oh shoot. And it's I send it to like a female that's a few years younger than me.
Couldn't you delete the text?
Hold on. A female that's a few years younger than me. and single. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not want that message to go.
Yeah, that's bad.
So then I tried to send a whole bunch of GIFs like right after that. So like she wouldn't see that. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Didn't mean to send that. It's like, please don't look at this.
Wait, so you sent a ton more thinking she wouldn't
like
see
different
that
ones
first,
afterwards.
You should, hoping she wouldn't see the original.
The first one, yeah. I was like, if because like it'll come up like the very last one, so I wouldn't flood her.
You should have just been like, that accidentally sent.
I did afterwards. I'm like, yeah, that was an accident.
You threw your fat fingers.
I should have said like my kid got a hold of it.
I laughed hysterically when I heard this story.
Yeah,
that was super embarrassing, Brett. How could you do that?
Yeah, is what it is.
Do you still see this client?
Not anymore.
Okay. So see, it doesn't even matter.
I mean, one of my associates does.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, still part of the office, but I'm sure she got a good chuckle out of it.
Yes, she did at the time.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's good. So see, yours is GIFs, mine is the reels.
Mm-hmm.
Last one, just because this was kind of a short topic, but last one we are going to cover today is, what is some ridiculous, over-the-top things you did early on to win someone over? And let's title it, You Did What for Love? What did you do?
Oh,
And it might not even be me. If you have some from high school even. Like, what are some crazy, over-the-top things you might have done?
So, do you remember the very first present I gave you?
Yes. That was over the top for sure.
Yeah, what was it? What did I give you?
You gave me, you earned a cruise you sold books.
For myself.
For yourself. But yeah, no, we were very early on into our relationship. So you took me on a cruise.
We were just dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I won a cruise.
That was kind of your mistake because who
Yeah.
starts with that gift? You can't top that from there.
Well, I went to Maine. I sold educational books door to door, and I finished like 11th in the country for first year people doing it. So I did real well. And after I spent like 3.5 months, because we like literally just started dating right before I left. And so I came back and I wanted to see you a lot. And I was then going to go on a couple months later, going to go on this cruise. I'm like, I don't want to go by myself. Mm-hmm. Like that would suck. Like I have a girlfriend. Like I want to go with you. Yeah. So I was like, all right, let's take you on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was pretty over the top.
That was over the top for a very first gift. And then where do you go from that? Like second gift, like come on, that's
yeah. What was the second gift? I don't even remember.
See, it's not memorable, but the first one was.
That's true. I'm trying to think I think our very first Valentine's Day, I went crazy. Like I filled balloons with like things I loved about you, and it was a room full of balloons, and you had to pop everyone to get the words out. And then
is that where you made the coupon book that was really
I made you
really useful
a coupon book that was like good for 24 hours basically.
Yeah, she's look at all these great things we'll do together. And
yeah, it was like play video games with you anytime you want.
That's back when I was in college and
like
had time for that.
Like give you a massage for an hour
and it's all good until you go to redeem it.
Yeah.
And then it's like
it's like, but I'm tired.
I don't
want to play video games.
Mean that. Well, I'm like, okay, well then why do I have this? So don't make a coupon book for somebody that
it was a good idea at the time.
Intend to actually follow through.
Our daughter just made me one for Mother's Day. She's already let me use one, so we'll see much longer she'll let me.
I bet she'll let you use all of them.
Okay, well, I was a bad girlfriend. I apologize. So
I still want to know where that is because I want to redeem that.
It's got to be in our house. Oh, I probably threw it away. I was like, I don't need this
I don't
anymore.
want him to use that.
It's expired. This is non-transactional.
It's been 20 years. It's expired.
Too many years. And we can talk about on another episode. Where can they ask and submit those comments and questions to?
Financially, or go to YouTube? No, not YouTube. Our website. Go to our website. You can also go to YouTube, but go to our website, financially, the number 4, financially4everafter.com. You can submit a comment, a question. You can also apply for a 15-minute consultation with myself to talk financial tips, which we'll get into some finance here in a minute.
But you are right. They can leave comments or questions on YouTube. So we are, if you are watching us, we are on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any episodes. Also, we are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. You can also leave those comments and questions there. So yeah, hit us up. We love to hear from you. We've had people write in with questions regarding financial stuff. So we're always happy to address those on episodes if you do have those questions. But let's spin it into our financial stuff today.
Okay.
What do you got for us?
All right. So in regards to finances, let's talk inflation. So you have bought many groceries, and I remember, like, heck, I mean, this was years ago, probably 8 to 10 years ago now. You used to go and you get a thing of chicken at the store, and you'd get 3 chicken breasts in there. Now, there ain't 3. You get 2. A lot of times you get 2, and then the price is way high.
I mean, it depends.
It depends on where
I think
you get
it's
it.
4, and they're like the Hulk chicken breasts.
The Hulk? What does that
Because
even mean?
they're
They
pumping all
green?
this stuff in them. Like they used to be like
Oh.
normal size. Like a chicken breast was probably this big, and now they're like, I'm like, that is not normal.
With all the growth hormones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually asked my brother who's a chiropractor. I asked him, like, why? I just don't understand why people are so much bigger
Yeah.
and taller and whatnot before. And he's like, it's the food. He goes, now that might not be all of it.
Yeah.
There's probably other stuff to go. But he's like, think of the growth hormones that go in these foods. So like, if the growth hormones go in, that doesn't mean you eat a bunch of chicken that you're going to be, 6
Huge.
6 foot
Chris
8
Hemsworth.
and 260
What?
cut. Like, that's not going to happen.
Can't grow our own American Chris Hemsworth. Darn it.
Yeah. But yeah, inflation, it's a big deal. And headed into retirement, you really got to make sure you had enough. So I had a meeting earlier today, and the couple, and everybody needs different amounts in retirement. It could be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month, depending on what your standard of living is. So this couple, I was running through it with them, and their standard of living is, they said, hey, we want to have $10,000 a month to live off of. They were 57 as I was looking at their portfolio, plan on working another 10 years. And I said, well, right now with the income streams you plan on getting, that's going to be about $10,000 a month. And you wanted $10,500 is what they wanted. And I'm like, oh, you're $500 a month short. But I go, hold on there. A couple more things on that is at a 3 to 3.5% inflation, which is what it's been the last roughly 30-ish years. Now, granted, the last couple of years have been a little bit higher. But at 3 to 3.5% inflation, every 20 years, the cost of everything doubles. So I said, all right, well, you want $10,500 a month today. The income streams that you're going to have in 10 years from now is going to get $10,000 a month. But if you just say everything doubles in 20 years, so 10 years out, you're going to be like, okay, well, that 10 grand, I might need 15 grand. So therefore, you're short about, roughly $5,000 a month. So you're going to have to make up from that from somewhere. And then the question is, okay, well, where? And then what's the taxability of those accounts? Is it accounts that grow taxable? What type of accounts are those? Do you remember?
Taxable. Okay, so I feel like there's 2 IRAs. One's a Roth and one's just a regular.
Yep, one grows tax. So the IRA grows tax deferred.
Okay.
The Roth grows tax free. So taxable money is just like, hey, I had money sitting in checking or savings account. So those you have to pay, interest. So like it's called like a 1099 INT if you get an interest accredited for the year. So you got to pay interest on that, but that's taxable. So, or if I have stocks, bonds, mutual funds that aren't tied to some type of Roth or aren't tied to some type of IRA, those grow taxable. So in regards to that, as we look at it as saying, hey, well, they're at 10 grand, they need probably 15 grand 10 years out. Where do they position those monies to give them the best chance to succeed? So anytime you can have money grow tax-free, get it out tax-free, that's good. But we say, all right, well, are they going to need more stocks or mutual funds? And here recently, I've learned, and I'm doing what's called alternative investments. Have you heard of these alternative investments?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've heard of different sources of being able to invest in like different, allocating your money in different areas, which is good, right? You don't always want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is say, hey, is there a different way than what you might typically hear of kind of the traditional way, which stocks and bonds and mutual funds and CDs? Is there something else? And there are what we call these alternative investments. And on these alternative investments, you must meet certain criteria to do them. But assuming you meet those criteria, There's one that I heard of just a couple days ago that's paying out like a 12% constant income stream every single year. Now, granted, that doesn't mean that's what it'll be every year moving forward. That doesn't mean that you can even qualify to do this, but that's just how this particular investment works. So it would be like, hey, you need some additional money. If you got 100 grand in there, it sure would be nice to get an extra $1,000 a month or 12 grand a year out of that. Like, okay, well, that could help make up for maybe that $5,000 differential that you have. So then there's a couple different things that you'd say, all right, well, what causes inflation? So do you have any ideas of what actually makes prices go up?
I mean, I feel like the cost of everything, goods, like if you're running out of gas, for instance, if oil, those things go up because if it's becoming harder to get or the material's not available, the costs are going to go up.
Yeah, and the other part is like demand, right?
Demand, yeah, way more population, I feel like, too.
I mean, I just think like of a handful of years ago, like when COVID happened, toilet paper.
Oh,
toilet paper was in high demand. So I don't know if they raised their prices or not, but they could have, right? Because people were like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to be stuck inside forever. I'm going to buy all this. So they could have jacked the price of it.
Really, you look back on all of that and it's like, really, we were fighting over toilet paper?
It's ridiculous.
How ridiculous is that? Everybody that died from the bubonic plague is rolling over in their graves. Like, really? You guys were fighting over toilet paper and we were just trying to live at the time and get through a plague and you guys were fighting over toilet paper. What a crazy scenario that was.
Yep. So there's different ways to help out with inflation. So we talked before, you can have diversification. You have stocks that have growth and pull out some of the growth. You can have bonds that might have an income stream. You can also have an annuity. So you and I have some. Doesn't mean that it makes sense for everybody, but we also have stocks and other growth-oriented investment vehicles. But the ones that we have an increasing income stream. So they help fight inflation. So as inflation goes up 3% or 4% or 5%, our investments are also going up that in regard to the income stream that we're going to receive in retirement. So if you're in or close to retirement and you're like, well, the days of me getting a paycheck are kind of gone, but I still need a paycheck just from a different source, you can take your investments, move it over to an annuity, and that could give you an income stream and potentially an increasing income stream to last as long as you do. So that is another way to fight inflation.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
Thanks for those tips today, babe.
Absolutely.
Well, if you have additional questions about finances or anything related to love and relationship, we've already covered where you can ask those questions. Feel free to hit us up. We can address those on future episodes. Would be happy to do so. So thank you again for joining us on another episode of Financially Forever After, a Love and Money podcast.